What if I told you that the world's biggest sporting event started with just 13 teams and a dream? Today, the FIFA World Cup attracts billions of viewers, creates unforgettable heroes, and stops entire nations in their tracks. But the tournament we know today wasn't always a global phenomenon. Its journey is filled with war, controversy, legendary players, shocking upsets, and moments that changed sports forever. This is the complete history of the FIFA World Cup. The story begins in 1930. Before the World Cup existed, international football was mainly played at the Olympic Games. FIFA, the world's football governing body, wanted a tournament of its own. Under the leadership of Jules Rimet, FIFA organized the first World Cup in Uruguay. Only 13 teams participated. Most European nations were reluctant to make the long sea voyage to South America. Uruguay, the host nation and Olympic champion, won the first ever World Cup by defeating Argentina 4-2 in the final. The second World Cup took place in Italy in 1934. Unlike the first tournament, teams had to qualify. Italy won the title and successfully defended it again in France in 1938, becoming the first nation to win back-to-back World Cups. Then, history intervened. World War II forced the cancellation of the 1942 and 1946 tournaments. The world had bigger concerns than football. When the World Cup returned in 1950, it was held in Brazil. One of the greatest upsets in sports history occurred when the United States shocked England 1-0. However, the tournament is most remembered for the Maracanazo, where Uruguay stunned Brazil in front of nearly 200,000 fans to win the title. The 1954 World Cup in Switzerland introduced a new football power. West Germany defeated the heavily favored Hungary in what became known as the Miracle of Bern. In 1958, the world met a 17-year-old Brazilian named Pelé. Brazil won its first World Cup, and Pelé became a global superstar. Brazil repeated the achievement in 1962 and again in 1970, establishing itself as football's greatest nation. The 1970 tournament was also the first World Cup broadcast widely in color, helping the sport reach even larger audiences around the globe. The 1974 and 1978 tournaments saw victories for West Germany and Argentina. Then came the 1980s, an era defined by one man, Diego Maradona. At the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, Maradona produced some of the most famous moments in football history. Against England, he scored the controversial Hand of God goal, and just minutes later, the goal of the century. Argentina went on to win the tournament. The World Cup continued to grow throughout the 1990s. Germany won in 1990. Brazil captured its fourth title in 1994 in the United States, and France lifted its first trophy on home soil in 1998. The 21st century brought new champions and unforgettable stories. Brazil won a record fifth title in 2002. Italy triumphed in 2006. Spain's golden generation claimed victory in 2010 with their possession-based style. In 2014, Germany defeated Argentina in the final and became the first European nation to win a World Cup held in the Americas. Then came 2018, when France, led by a young Kylian Mbappé, captured its second World Cup title. Finally, in 2022, football witnessed one of its most iconic moments. Lionel Messi led Argentina to World Cup glory in Qatar. After an extraordinary final against France, many fans considered Messi's career complete, ending one of the greatest debates in sports history. Today, the World Cup features teams from every corner of the globe and is watched by billions. The tournament will expand even further in 2026, hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, with 48 teams competing for football's biggest prize. From Uruguay in 1930 to the modern spectacle watched around the world, the FIFA World Cup has become more than a tournament. It is a celebration of passion, national pride, and unforgettable human stories. And every 4 years, the world comes together once again to witness history being made.